Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Arn here once more again, and today I have another figure review slash unbox video today for all of you. This time we have ourselves is Ciri from The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This right here is another figure from McFarlane Toys, specifically their Witcher gaming figure line. Specifically speaking, this is the Wave 2 line, I'm pretty sure that's what they're calling it. And what that means is basically the Wave 2 line is basically all the characters from The Witcher 3. This right here is Ciri as we see her during the events of Witcher 3. With the other two figures you can also get as well from, I'm pretty sure, the Wave 2 line is Geralt himself, as we see Geralt during the events of Witcher 3. And the Wild Hunt, Iridian, who is the guy with the skull armor and skull mask, who's the big bad guy from that series. A little bit spoiler, sorry about that, but the game's been out for like a while. But still, this right here is Ciri as we see her during the events of The Witcher 3. But with that out of the way, let's dive right in with the unboxing of the figure. And we're back, and let's start with the unboxing figure. But before we do the unboxing, let's do a little overview of the box itself, seeing how Ciri looks before we do the unboxing. And overall, actually, it's pretty good. Not gonna lie, I think I probably mentioned this before in other videos when I do the reviews and unboxing, especially when I buy stuff online, especially when it comes to like figures and whatnot. Sometimes the pages on the pages for like, these figures and whatnot sometimes make the figures kind of look a little bit bad. But once you get them in your hand and whatnot, you realize like, oh no, the figure actually looks pretty great, and Ciri actually looks pretty well here. I probably mentioned this before. It's like sometimes this is also the reason why I like to buy figures and stuff in stores a lot more, because you're in the store and you're actually holding the box of the figure, and you can determine whether or not you like the figure and you want to get it. And overall, I'm glad I did get Ciri when I got the chance to, because I got her during the end of last year during the winter sale in December, which is actually a good thing that I got it, because I got her technically on sale, so that's actually another good thing too. I got her in good deal price, because usually this figure sells for around 20 bucks online, as I did get her technically speaking on Amazon, usually in the stores. I think at Target, because that's where I saw her and the other Witcher figures, I'm pretty sure it's 20 or 20-ish bucks on Target, depending if you see them on there. But with that out of the way, let's go with the unboxing of the figure. Oh, and guess what I finally found? I finally found my pocket knife. It's hidden away in one of my kitchen drawers. And I was like, what are you doing there? And well, either way, it's good that I finally found it, because let me tell you, having to do a lot of stuff that I do, and not having my pocket knife with me to help me out when I need immediately something like knife, scissors, bottle can opener, which let me tell you, needed a bottle can opener a while ago, and I could not find my big one, which I've got from Costco. Which I'm glad I got that, because actually I think it actually survived so long. Whew. And that slides out pretty fine. Oh, that's actually a little bit better. So, out of the box, well, still in the plastic still, but we see here, Ciri right here. And overall, Ciri actually looks pretty fine. Actually, the detail work is actually pretty good. And, well, that's one thing I always know about McFarlane figures, is that they do pretty well with their detail work. I do know them for a little bit more, because I do have a lot of the Halo figures from McFarlane, which are pretty well detailed. So, basically, anything from McFarlane is always great when their detail work. Let's unbox the rest of the stuff, which actually is in this. A little bit more cardboard, which I'm kind of like this. Well, not slightly more, just the effects are kind of in these little knife things. But like I mentioned before, pocket knife. But actually, I'm going to be a little bit more safer on this. Where is my? Ah, here we go. Careful when you do any. If you do have your own like multi-tool pocket knife, you don't want to hurt yourself. But always need scissors. Which is actually kind of funny. I was actually watching today when I was on the road. I was hearing to one of the radio hosts that I hear, and talking about, well, technically speaking, people going to the airport and forgetting they leave stuff in the airport, and somebody was talking about what's called forgetting they left their pocket knife in their bag. And then having, which something I did not know, is that apparently they have males, and this right here is the particle effect that Ciri uses for magic, for teleportation magic. And now let's get the stand out, which is, but back to like the little, there we go. Get to save the little box, and actually that's not bad. Like, look at this. That's the engraving. I'm pretty sure the engravings of basically everybody there. You can see that. Putting that away. Where was I on this? Oh, right. So while listening to the radio, what's it called? They're talking about how sometimes people forget stuff. There's one where, what's it called? lady was basically going to a Halloween party, and what's it called, or cosplaying a Halloween party, and she went to the airport, and she what's it called, took a toy gun, and she didn't realize that was going to be a whole deal. So what's it called, she had that was the thing. And then another one from at least from the talk show host, talking about how their brother went to the airport and forgot that they had a pocket knife, and he didn't want to lose it because that shit was one of those good pocket knives, which I do understand, because let me tell you, I also have a decent amount of pocket knives too. Host was talking about, like, what do you need a pocket knife for? It's like, you always need a pocket knife. There's many situations where you always need one, like right now, where it's like you need to cut something right now real quick and whatnot, and you don't have scissors. Pocket knife is always needed. What's it called? Oof, these are hard to get out. Like I will say, I'm kind of glad that they kind of have this kind of securing, but goddamn, this is actually being a little bit more of my trying to box actually. When in doubt, try to make sure I don't hurt myself. Yep, there we go. This is getting a little bit more out of hand. But what was I going with? Oh yeah, so basically what's called, the brother, one of the radio hosts, basically decided, because it's something I did not know, apparently at the airport you can actually mail stuff back to you in case you can't take it with you, which I did not know you could do that, which is actually pretty good. So next time around, I go to the airport and I have something that I do not want the TSA to fucking take away and have trouble with. What's called, apparently they have just mail stuff. They have like mail packages and whatnot. You can just mail the stuff back to you. Okay, let's try to get Ciri out of the box. Whew. And there we go. We did not take the sword out. Of all the things I forgot to take out. I mean, in one sense, I'm kind of glad that this is actually really secure. Ooh. But goddamn, that took way longer than it should have. Okay, now we have Ciri out of the box, and overall, it's and she looks pretty good. You can see right here the detail and sculpting work that they did for this figure is actually pretty great. This is the reason why I say McFarlane is pretty great, and I kind of really am sad that they don't do a lot more figures. I mean, they do. They do a lot of other stuff. I know they do a lot of DC, other comic character like Spawn and whatnot, which is actually one of the great things. But I kind of want to get one of the Spawn McFarlane figures later down the line. What's it called? But you can see the detail work for that. It's actually pretty great on the beltings and on everything else, sashes, the coloring, everything is accurate as it can be. Overall, pretty great. Her pouch right here, her scarf, her little injury that she had during one of the earlier missions during The Witcher 3. Overall, everything looks pretty great. What's it called? Ooh, sorry about that. My little display thing got a little bit damaged. That's a little bit fine. I tend to do this. Then we have the sword right here, which is a sword they can take out too. Which I will say, besides the figure looking great and the sheath also looking great as well, like the sheath looks fine. It looks pretty good. I might actually do a little bit of and it's actually looking at the figure. That's fine. Let's try to see if you guys can focus on the. Why is it always never focusing? Sorry about this. I screwed up on the lighting. This thing never. See, this is. I'm hoping later down the line I'm able to get a new camera. So the thing I need to do is like always fix on the focusing. I do apologize if the thing never focus. Oh, now there we go. You can see right there. This actually is pretty nicely detailed, and we just had it. We had it. Trying to see if I can I'm trying to see what's it called. But we had it at just one point. What's it called? We had the detail for this actually pretty nice. This thing's still picking up other stuff too. Okay, let's try to get everything else. Oh, now it shows. Like what's called, to see the detail work for this. If my camera ever decides to focus, like legit, the camera always has problems, always focusing on smaller stuff. I do apologize, and that just fell. Overall, what you were able to see beforehand, before the camera decided to be a poop. Oh, now it decides to show. Let's try to see if we can. There we go. So, okay, there we go. Now we finally got it. So you can see right there, it's got a good, pretty amount of detail work, which is always great that you want with these, which I actually do kind of like. So no problem at all. I mean, I would be a little bit more painted. If anything else, I might paint the gray parts a little bit more like gunmetal. I will say the sword, I kind of usually does this sometimes with the swords. I was hoping this would be a little bit more fancy, but it's fine. I might do some modifications with this, make it a little bit much more fancier. I might just paint the gray into like a little bit more different color scheme. Why are you never focusing? Let's see. Okay, there we go. You can see this a little bit more better, probably. Again, I do apologize with this thing never wanting. Okay, there we go. We got it. Almost had it. But overall, that's the sword. What's it called? It could be a little bit better on the detail work. Not gonna lie. What's it called? I do apologize for the thing not wanting to focus. A lot of times the camera really just hates me sometimes. It's like, come on, just focus. I need you to focus on this. Oh, there we go. Now you focus when I wanted to. Overall, the sword is actually still pretty good. What's it called? The only thing I might do on the sword is might paint it a little bit more gunmetal, or like using one of my gun markers to make it a little bit much more realistic. And then we have the particle effect parts that Ciri does during her abilities, which, for those who know, she has the ability to teleport and use elder magic, which I think is what's called. And not gonna lie, it's actually pretty cool particle effect part. I might actually use this from some other character attacks. Okay, so basically that's everything that series comes with. Basically particle effect parts, sword and sheath right here. Overall pretty nicely designed. And then what's it called? Ciri herself, which we see once before. The detail work looking pretty great. Overall Ciri looking nice and fine. And then what's it called? We have the base plate right here so she can stand on. Which is not a bad base plate. I always like these. Always need them. But with that out of the way, now let's go with the articulation of the figure itself. Let's do one last focus right here. Oh, pretty great. Now let's go with the articulation. And we're back. Now it's time to do the articulation, which from the, at least from what the box told me, this is a 22 point, this is a 22 moving parts, which I'm not too sure how much of those moving parts are true, but let's go for the head right here. Make sure the detail work actually does well. This is the one time I wanted to, oh, there we go, focus. So on the head, 360 spin head and bob and weave, no problem at all. Arm can move all the way, pretty nice. Spin all the way around, no problem at all. Arms able to rotate. It's able to bend all the way, just not bad at all. What's that? I'm pretty sure that's what, a double joint right there. Not bad at all. Then the hand right here is able to, it's a little bit tough, but hand's able to spin, no problem at all. Then it's able to move, bob and weave up and down. So I'm probably just going to modify that to be a little bit more better when I do like a little bit more sword play and all that. Torso able to move? Torso is able to move a little bit. I just got this figure, so I'm not too sure about this. So not that much torso movement, at least that I see right now. I think just because of the corset. She's able to do a split. Almost able to do a split. Like what's called? This right here. That's actually pretty good on the split that I can do for a figure. Overall, legs able to kick all the way up. It's this right here, the corset right here is actually rubbery, so it actually does help for at least the better movement right there. All the way up. It's actually a little bit blocked from the backside for the rubber butt right here. But actually able to move all the way back. Actually not bad at all because that piece right here is all rubber, so that's just not bad at all. Like right here is able to bend. And double bend because it's actually on a double bend joint right there. You can see right there. So double joint right there, so it's actually able to bend. No problem at all. Leg right here is on a ball joint swivel, so able to spin no problem at all, and is able to go up and down. And also the little toe right here can go up and down as well, so that's just not pretty bad at all. That's pretty good. Overall articulation is pretty great. Like for how usually these figures go, this is actually the basically the base articulation you could go for this. Overall, pretty great. Let's do some size comparisons with other figures that I got. And now with size comparison, starting off with, we have my Ultimate Gohan, who I have always right next to me. And just for those who also know, regular Ultimate Gohan right here is a 6-inch figure. These McFarlane figures, especially the Witcher series figures, they're 7-inch figures, so they're going to be an inch taller than most regular figures too. So she's taller than Ultimate Gohan. Then we have Rebel Tech Salter from Fate Stay Night, which she's still taller too, as Rebel Tech Salter is 6 inches. Going from, Salter. Going from Salter, then we have my Goblin Slayer, trying to go with everybody, like trying to keep everybody in the fantastical stance. This right here is my Figma Goblin Slayer right here. I like once more again, like I said before, 6-inch figure versus 7-inch figure. Let's go with something that's at least going to be at least somewhat comparable to her. Technically speaking, it's going to be in the Gundam line. We're going to have myself my Sinanju Stein, who Ciri actually still beats. At least if we're going to go with like the head-to-head thing, actually she still beats my Sinanju Stein. The only way my Sinanju Stein will be a little bit taller is the sources go a little bit more back. But yeah, what's it called? Sorry, let's give it a little bit more. Just make sure size comparison in the middle way. Going from my Sinanju Stein, we have my Quanta Command, who is basically how most Gundams are, usually around 6 inches. She still towers over him. Another very tall Gundam besides Sinanju Stein, we also have my Narrative Type Seek type, which Ciri is still actually way taller still. And then last but not least, actually, where is he? My Gundam Estrella Custom, the mascot for the channel as well, who is basically actually shorter than most of my other Gundams. He's I think around 5 inches for this one right here. Overall, you see right here, Ciri is technically taller than most of my figures, because she is part of the little bit more taller size comparison with 7 inches. But with that out of the way, let's go with spinal slots of the figure. And this right here, folks, is the review for the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt McFarlane Figures Toys Ciri. Overall, the figure's actually pretty great. Articulation is pretty good. The accessories are actually pretty nice. You get the particle effect parts, which you see right here. It's pretty nice. You get the sword and sheaths that are detachable that you can use. Overall, the sculpted figure is pretty great. It's color accurate. All the detail work is pretty nice that you find. It's what you want with the figure, which is one of the reasons why I do like McFarlane toys, because they usually make great figures. Their figures are always greatly detailed, which is why I do like. Articulation is pretty great. You can do many poses as you want. It's got 22 points, like I said before in the box, and I actually do believe it. The only thing I will say, torso movement is kind of either limited or restricted, because it's only able to do a little bit, as I was not able to do it. Plus, also, I don't want to damage my figure, as I just barely got it. But overall, the figure is pretty great, and if you do want one, I do recommend it. It's actually pretty great. I got mine on Amazon, and it's still out there for the regular price range of $20. Other places that I do know you could probably get this are also Target as well, because I saw this at Target the last time around with a lot more of the other Witcher figures as well. For the regular price range around $20. But with that out of the way, that is it for the review for Ciri, the Witcher 3 series from McFarlane Figures. If you like the video, please consider dropping like, comment, share, and subscribe. I always do appreciate it, folks. And as always, have a nice day. This is I, Pirate, signing out, and I'll see you guys on the next one.